Good evening, everyone. It's Dan's All About Arsenal. We're back here for Monday Night Podcast with my good man Josh. How you doing, Josh? You okay?
Yeah, all good, thank you. You?
Good, good. Yeah, all good, mate. All good. It's Christmas madness all round. So we're
Yeah.
kind of wrapping up our year of podcasts. Well, we've done kind of this is episode 7 technically. So we've done 7 weeks, nearly 2 months worth of podcasts, and we've been
Oh wow.
building and building. So it's gone quite quick, really, isn't it? Don't you
Hmm.
think? Like,
Yeah,
and
it
obviously
has.
we added a new podcast in on Friday, which we'll talk about a little bit. But
Yep.
before we get into it, let's play the
Intro.
intro. Got to play the intro, and then we'll talk all about Arsenal. And we're back. Hello. So the intro's played. We're obviously got lots to talk about today because we've had a week off, in fairness, which is actually quite
Yeah.
rare in a sense for the Arsenal boys. I mean, the first time since something like the 29th or 25th of August, which is absolutely
Yeah.
crazy when you think about it. So not surprised we had injuries and people are knackered. But what is good about, I suppose, us and what we're coming into, we've had a better game, I suppose, to a certain extent to discuss. And then we're going to be talking about the Crystal Palace game after, but really going to get into kind of any news that you've come across and stuff like that as well. But Everton obviously was the big game, which I was super excited about. But actually, when the game was playing, I was really nervous about. So
Yeah.
it's kind of gone
Yeah.
one extreme to the other. And I was like, just blow the whistle. I've got a horrible feeling about this.
Yeah.
But but where did you watch the game, Josh?
I just watched it at home. Yeah, just on the
Nice.
telly. Yeah.
Perfect. Same as us, to be fair. And it was, I had my mum had come round. She wanted to watch it. She stayed, for
Oh,
the night because
nice.
she's like, she doesn't have the normal channels and stuff like that. So,
Yeah.
but it was good. It was an interesting game. We haven't lost at that stadium, obviously, so which is always a plus. Um, and we still haven't, which is great. So,
What a
but
record.
obviously, we what amazing record. Never lost at was it the Hill Dickinson? Is
The,
that what it's
the
called?
Hill Hill Dick Hill Dickinson. Yeah. Hill Dickinson,
Yeah,
something like
unusual. And I don't know who he is, but must be a
that. Yeah.
famous Evertonian, I'm assuming. But
Yeah.
but obviously we obviously come away with the win. But there was some, some controversy, some good players, some close chances and stuff like that to see games off. And that's the only thing that bugs me at the moment is us not killing games off, I suppose.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
but what's your, I suppose, first take? Obviously, we're going to talk about chances. Obviously, you've got the penalty to touch on as well. I'm pleased Gyökeres was given it. I think that was too fair.
Yes.
I think a
Yeah.
nice
Yeah. He needed
touch.
that. Yeah.
Oh,
He definitely
100%.
did.
It was a bit of a throwback almost to like Havertz been given that penalty. And I'm hoping almost
Yes.
that just kicks it off and kicks him on, really.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
perfect.
that's a
Perfect.
nice link. Yeah, I think it was. I was similar to yourself in that it was a game I was looking forward to in terms of I, I sort of could have seen us scoring quite a few, even though we've got like
Hmm.
struggled against Everton in the past. Um,
Yep.
but I just sort of had this feeling. Obviously, I was wrong, but yeah, I sort of had this feeling that it was, we was gonna, possibly get sort of like I don't know, like a 3-0 or 3-1 or something like that. Um,
Hmm.
I can't actually remember what my prediction was last week, but
Yeah, it was three
um,
one, mate. It was a 3-1.
oh, it was right. So I sort of carried that theme on then. Um, yeah, but I was the same as you in terms of like the longer the game was going on, I was getting nervier and nervier, and I was thinking, oh
Mm.
come on, let's just put this to
Oh,
bed.
what
And
they doing to us?
like Trossard's chance where he hit the post, and I was like,
Oh, mate.
the sort
Yeah.
of form that he's been in. And the way that he's been playing, I thought he had a good game. To be fair, I thought when he was on, I thought he did all right. There was a few
For
sort
sure.
of people I've heard afterwards sort of almost not slate him, but kind of say that he wasn't quite up to scratch. But I thought he did all right.
Mm.
Yeah, it's just a shame he didn't obviously bury that chance. But there was a
Yeah.
couple of times he sort of tried to find Gyökeres with like little through balls and stuff like that, which is what I think we need to do more of.
Hmm.
Um, yeah, I thought he had a good game. I mean, Saka looked dangerous whole game. I can see why he got a man of the match, didn't he? I don't know who it was
Yeah.
from, whether it was the actual official man of the match or
I
what.
think it
But
was. I think it was a
um,
Premier League one. I think wasn't it? I think
right,
that's what
yeah,
he got.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah. Because Arsenal gave Gyökeres man of the match, didn't they?
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. there's still that frustration, I think, with the service that Gyökeres gets. I think he does make some good runs. I think, he puts himself about. Um, he closes down
Hmm.
well and stuff like that, which is obviously what we ask all of our players to do. Um, but it's just that I just feel like we're not playing to his strengths. I know there's obviously an element of he needs to
Yeah.
adapt to us as well, which I get, and I get why some people might be, but we've never we haven't had an out and out number nine like that for a long, long time. Um,
Mm.
so yeah, I think the fact that we went out and bought him and paid good money for him um, means we need to sort of adapt a bit more to him in a way. And
Yeah.
I think that goes back to a few comments I've made previously about. Um, I think we have that adaptability in the way that we play.
Hmm. Yeah, for sure.
We can play in several different formations successfully. Yeah, but yeah, I was very nervy, and I was just praying for that final whistle to go.
Oh, I know.
I mean, I don't think Everton really had that many chances to worry about, but at the same time, there's still that element of like, oh, come on, let's just like you said, put it to bed. Let's just score two, three, four, because we're more than capable of doing that. It's just yeah, seem to be struggling at the minute for the goals.
No, it's that, and that's been the way all the way through. To be honest with you, I think everyone wants him to succeed. Gyökeres obviously is the main talking point. It seems to be everything because he's the striker that hasn't really kind of taken off. But I
Yeah,
don't know which striker apart from Ekatike, has done okay. And obviously he's continued to score. I think out of all the new strikers in the league, I think he's scored the most so far. He has 7, 8 goals, something like that.
yeah,
But I think Gyökeres. I don't know. We still it's still time. And I think we can judge towards maybe the end of the season. We can look back, and if
yeah,
we've won the league, then it might be a different conversation then. So, but obviously, people down in the comments, the chat box, the people who are watching, what's your thought on Jokeris? Because it is always a hot topic at the moment. Obviously, we want to support him because we're Arsenal supporters, but we want to see something back. And there was one moment I think in the game for me where Saliba kept driving that ball, and he actually put a ball through as he would expect it, and like
yeah,
that's all he asked to do. He didn't get the chance; it was blocked at the time. But I thought that's all we've been asking for. How is it
yeah,
that Saliba has run all the way through and played the ball that an Odegaard should be playing or something like that, or a Rice
yeah,
maybe for him?
yeah,
And you just think it blows your mind really.
yeah.
But obviously we've got to talk about the penalty. Obviously there was a few there's a few penalties potentially happening in this game. I know the first call was for Gyökeres being kind of almost there's an element of a push, or should he have been stronger in that moment and carried the ball? Was kind of
Yeah, I feel
my
like.
initial thoughts.
I mean, my initial thoughts on that was no, not a penalty. It would have been very soft. Um, if I was an Everton fan, I'd have been absolutely fuming if that was given. Um,
Mm,
yeah, because I think it was more the manner in which Gyökeres went over. Like he's obviously felt a touch on his
yeah,
back,
gone.
and he's sort of like thrown himself to the floor. And I'm not a massive fan of that. Like regardless of who it
No,
is.
if he'd
Um,
been strong in that moment, do you think? I think he could have scored.
yeah, well, exactly that. Like
Mm,
if you've got an opportunity to score, score. Don't go down. Like it really winds me up with some players that when they do that, I'm sort of like, I don't understand it. Um,
no, yeah.
Obviously, the penalty that was given was 100% a penalty. I mean, what his hands
I
are
mean, it's
doing up there,
hilarious. I've actually got the
I
picture
have
of it,
no
Josh.
idea.
I've got to show the picture because I thought it's too funny not to include. Let me
And
add
I
it on.
think it
Obviously,
actually
mate.
hits both of his hands as well, doesn't it? It's like,
I don't know. I don't know if you can see this. It's on. I don't know if it's loading on our screens, but
yeah, I
on the
can
main
see it. Yeah,
screen, you can see. Yeah, Fury. I mean, a hell of a jump. He was going to be getting ahead of that
yeah,
ball, but he
yeah.
literally jumped. He jumped up with both arms, just like he was diving up. It was just really
Yeah, well,
bizarre, and
exactly.
I've
He's
never
actually
seen
gone
anything
to the
like that.
side as well, isn't he? He's gone. It's not like it's above his
Yeah,
head like that. He's gone to the side like that. It's a
it's
bit.
really odd.
Well, yeah, it's a bit odd, really. I haven't seen something like that at that level of football for I don't know how many
Yeah.
years, but um,
I'm just in the Premier League moment. I've never seen you get it where it bounces
yeah,
off
I
an
mean,
arm or something
I've
like
seen
that.
someone
But
do that in Sunday League, but
yeah, oh, 100%. And you forgetting he's not in goal or something like that. But
yeah,
this is a professional footballer who was the one who
yeah,
pushed Jokeris, I think, as well, and then done that
yes, he was,
literally
yeah,
next ball
yeah,
across, wasn't it? And you just think,
yeah,
bloody hell, Jesus Christ, mate. You could have done better in that moment.
yeah,
But obviously Jokeris went on to score a penalty, which in fairness to him, the penalty was strong. It was more the power of it. Because I actually saw
yeah,
you see
yeah. It was well
the
struck.
net flipped up, wasn't it? The net
Yeah,
flipped. And I was like, geez, that's mad. That's absolutely mad. Like the power he has, it
yeah,
is just, if he gets it accurate, he's so powerful. He's probably the most powerful shot we've got on the team. He just
yeah,
needs to let that
100%.
loose a bit more, you know. And obviously, what I loved about it after was his next image, Josh, was Rice.
Yeah,
And I think I'd shared this on social media as well. And it was him basically
yeah,
going, "That's what I'm looking for. That's a goal scorer right there." So just
yeah,
sort of giving him the boost, the confidence, and hopefully we're going to see more from him going forward. You've got the
yeah.
Crystal Palace game, which I kind of actually think there's going to be rotation there. But obviously, it's just good to
Well,
see
yeah,
again.
I think there will be rotation, but at the same time, I think he's going to still try and field a very strong side because, I think he's even said it's a beautiful opportunity to get into a semi final of a cup. We know we're going to be facing Chelsea if we get through.
Hmm.
Two legs. Do I fancy ourselves? Yes, I do. So then that gets us to a final.
Yeah, for
Against
sure.
either City or Newcastle, isn't it? I think. Um,
Yeah,
yeah.
kind of thinking it's
So
going to be City to expect kind of thing.
yeah, yeah, you would, yeah. But I mean, obviously, we've got to get there first. But yeah, I think it's a good opportunity. I think Palace, as good as a season that they're having, they're slightly faltering at the minute.
Yeah,
Um, and
definite drop
I
off. I
think
think at the moment from them.
it's a good opportunity to to sort of again show that we're more than capable of producing because they are a good
Hmm.
side. So
Yeah,
yeah,
well, we got
no problem.
thumped at the weekend by Leeds. That was a
Yeah,
hell of a
yeah,
game
it's
from Leeds.
4-1, wasn't it? I think. Yeah,
Yeah, it was balmy, and it was Calvert-Lewin, wasn't it? He was having goals
yeah,
of fun, and I'm really pleased for him because he's always one of them strikers who could have been, would have been, and he seemed to have
yeah,
found his feet at Leeds. It was obviously at Everton for a little while before, but yeah, he's been I think scored in the last 5 games. I think
yeah,
from memory,
yeah,
from what I'd read,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
just
Well, I
thought
mean,
fair play to him.
he's struggled with injuries, hasn't he, over especially more recent years. And I mean, that's another thing that winds me up sometimes with some of these pundits and even other social media people. Like there was something that I heard about, Gyökeres's form of goal scoring and stuff like that. And I was like, he was that injured.
Yeah, I
Do you
know.
know what I mean?
I was like,
Like
why
it
has
was
he
the way
scored
they
as
it was the
much?
way they said it. It was the way that I can't remember
Ridiculous.
it word for word, but it was just sort of like really sort of having a go at him, like saying, "Oh, you should be scoring more," and especially in this particular period. And I was like, "But he was out injured for like 6 weeks, so
Yeah,
what are
yeah.
you on about?" Um,
It is ridiculous.
yeah,
But I wonder if I see that about
I
Isaac.
think that's just
Isaac's
like
been,
how they like to pick holes, don't they? They like to, especially
yeah,
with Arsenal, because we're such a hated club,
yeah. I suppose I had to go at
and
Havertz. Yeah, he hasn't
sort of
scored one
fan
yet.
base,
Yeah,
and a fan base, they all hate us. So it's sort of like,
it is
um,
true. I'm
yeah,
quickly learning we're one of those clubs that people love to hate.
yeah,
That someone said to me the other day they'd rather have Man City win the league again rather than us. And you go,
yeah, yeah,
what? It just
yeah. And it
makes
was
no
probably your
sense. I'm
bloody
like,
United fan as well, wasn't
yeah, yeah,
it?
pretty much. No, I just don't like Arsenal. Like Jesus
Yeah,
Christ, like let's just mix it up a bit. It'd be great for someone else to win it. It'll be Aston Villa's year probably the way they're going as well,
yeah,
because they've
yeah.
been playing unbelievable. I think they've had what is it,
10 wins in
Premier
a
League,
row.
10 wins in a row. I think 7 or 8 of them are Premier League and a couple of obviously Europa. But mate, they are contenders now. What do you think about
Yeah, they're
Aston
looking
stuff?
good. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of a little bit scary, obviously, and we've got them again very soon.
Yeah,
So
revenge game,
yeah, it's. I'm looking forward to that game because I want the retribution. But
hundred
it would
percent.
be nice. It would be nice if we had a couple of players back. Like Big
Hmm.
Gabby, Havertz.
Yeah,
Even there's talk of them two potentially being available. Although I think
yeah.
Havertz has had a little setback. But
I did read that, but you just, yeah, I think Big Gabby Havertz. I think Havertz might be now mid-Jan, which is really frustrating.
Yeah,
So I was
yeah,
so looking
yeah,
forward to him coming back
yeah,
just to have that other option. But then we've got
yeah.
Jesus. Obviously, he's started a few
Yeah,
more
and he's
games,
looking
getting a
quite
few
sharp.
minutes.
He's looking quite
Yeah.
sharp, and um, I mean, there was a couple of opportunities where he sort of scuffed it a bit, or like
Yeah.
miskicked his final sort of shot. Um, and yeah, it's just like I say, it's one of them where you sort of he looks sharp in terms of his touches, but he's never really been a sort of out and out finisher, is he? Um,
No, no.
so that's something that he's got to work on. But it's good to have him back and good to have him in the squad. And
Yeah.
it's another option, and it's a different option as well, isn't it? Obviously,
Mm,
if we set up with Gyökeres up top, um, and they're completely different players, so it's sort of it is quite nice to have them options of mixing it up and changing it.
for
And
sure.
sometimes these cup games are good opportunities for them
Mm,
to sort of
yep.
showcase what they can do. And
Yeah,
again,
100%.
I know we've mentioned it before, but like Ethan Ranieri, if he could potentially come in,
Yeah.
even if he doesn't start, but he gets say half an hour or something,
Hmm.
uh, 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 that's again something that we've touched on before. But I think the subs have been good so far this season in terms of when he's brought players on. Um,
Yeah.
he's whereas
Definitely
before I
better.
feel like we've been a little bit hesitant, but I
Mhm.
think where we've got such a strong squad now of players that they could all start really. Um,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
would,
That,
most of them would start for most of the other Premier League teams. So
mm.
um, yeah,
I
I
think
think he's
we're going to
he's
get to a
managing
point,
that
Josh.
well.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think we're going to get to a point when everyone's returned where like first team players are going to be left out because there's so much
Yeah,
choice all of a sudden available. And we had that kind
yeah,
of discussions at the beginning of the season going, well, who's going to play? Who's going to be not in the team?
yeah,
And then
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
injuries allowed, I suppose, more people to be involved. But you can see that being a bit of a headache for Arteta in a way when that does
yeah,
happen. So I'll be intrigued to see how that pans out. I have got a little picture here as well for player ratings for the games. I thought this was interesting. One of the people I think highlights and key highlight from the game was Rice.
yeah,
I don't know if
yeah,
you saw that video that I popped up again. This is social media, so we're over on Instagram and TikTok and stuff like that. But there was a little video snippets of Rice was just everywhere. He was
yeah,
grabbing balls, he was intercepting. His stats are unbelievable. He'd 8.0 rating, obviously out of the 10, which he was the highest on the day. Didn't get man of
yeah.
the match, funnily enough, but he was actually the heartbeat, I think, of the midfield on the day, which
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
was
and
impressive.
I think he's the one that's sort of dragging us through at the moment. To be honest with you, and it's a
Yeah.
point that I made either a week or a couple of weeks ago about. Um, I see him as like that sort of driving force for the team and setting the tone for the team,
Hmm.
um,
For
more
sure.
so than like the Zubamendis who kind of obviously set the tone in terms of their passing. Um, and even Odegaard to that extent. But Rice, his sort of energy and enthusiasm and leadership on the pitch, I think, just sort of shines through at the moment. And like I say, he's the one that's dragging us through this sort of slightly blippy period that we're
Mm.
going through, where we're not playing very well. I mean, I still don't think, even when we have been playing well, we've been at our best. I feel like that we've still got another 2 or 3 gears to go.
Yeah.
Um,
Scary, mate.
yeah, yeah. Which I've always thought a lot of the teams that have ended up winning the Premier League have
Hmm.
they've they've come good at the end.
Yeah.
Do you know
I
what I
suppose
mean? Like
after
even if even
Christmas,
if even if they've obviously been top for most of the season, they might have struggled in a few games or dropped a couple of points here or there. But then it's at that end. It's at that sort of like um, end of February, sort of beginning of March time when they sort of kick on and just
hmm
win every game, and then
yeah.
that's I think what will, if we can, that is what will make us champions.
Yeah, no, I think I completely agree with you, mate. It's always like us, the cities of the world, who always seem to kick on. They've been in okay form. They've been playing well, scoring goals, but they're the ones who know how to see at the end of the season because of the kind of
Yeah,
experience that maybe we haven't got. And this is what we've been for, I think, the last few 2, 3 seasons now, where we've got kind of we know the pain of it. let's put it away. Let's continue. Let's
Yeah,
just keep ourselves ahead. And obviously, there was that element of Man City went ahead this weekend because they played first, and obviously, then there was a bit of added pressure. And I do
yeah,
think there's an element of there's pressure on the team at the moment because they know what this all means. We haven't done it before. There's a little bit of that PTSD element of it to it. So I do
yeah,
think there's so much pressure on them there. I think to a certain extent, I think it might be affecting their ability to just go out and play, just go and enjoy the game and do what you do best. Not everyone, but there's certain people I
yeah,
think are under
yeah,
added pressure for
yeah,
performance related, So it is frustrating. And I think I mean the team themselves, obviously, I think it was the team kind of I expected to be out. And I think what I did want to mention actually with I don't think Rice will be as good as he is without Zubimendi because I think Zubimendi's kind of he's allowed him to kind of loosen his leash a bit and he's been able to have a bit more
Oh
freedom to
yeah,
play
no,
and do what he's doing.
100%, 100%. He's
Mm,
definitely made him that more box to box midfielder, which before he was having to do one or the other. He was having to either sit or be in that more like an eight sort of role and kind of more forward.
yeah.
Whereas this season, because of Zubi, he's been able to be that box to box midfielder, which I think that is what is going to make him one of, if not the best midfielder in the world.
100%, mate. No, I fully agree with that as well. And yeah, I mean, when you look at some of the performance here, just to run through some of the ratings, which stand out, I think, because obviously Saka, bearing in mind, obviously man out, he was a 7.3. Gyökeres got a 7.5 as well. Trossard 6.2. It was lower than expected, to be fair. Zubi 7.2, and then across the back, they were all kind of sevens really, and Capia getting the highest out of all the sort of midfielders, in fairness. But yeah, interesting on the scores. I'll bring that out. I'll jump us back in, mate. Got a couple of questions. Well, Vinny's just come in the chat. Obviously, Vinny is out. He's in the box, Josh. So, but he says if
Yo,
Ethan
Vinny.
doesn't, yo, Vinny. I mean, Vinny, what an absolute legend. Obviously, we all love Vinny, and we're in the Arsenal forecast, which is doing really well. It's the first pod of its type that we done. All four people on it, and it was really interesting. I actually had a lot of fun with it, and the views are creeping up. But what's interesting is a lot more people are watching, all the way through or longer. So
Yeah,
hours watched and stuff is really good. So thanks, Vinny, for the contributions you bring, mate. A lot of laughter as well. It was good. But he says if Ethan doesn't get any minutes tomorrow, I'm not sure I see a future for him at Arsenal under Arteta. Please discuss. I think it's a real tricky one with Ethan. I
yeah,
don't know what's going on, Josh. Is there something else we're not aware of, or he just doesn't trust him, or the games haven't allowed themselves? Because let's be honest, most of the games, apart from maybe Tottenham, where we've seen the game off a 4-1, and even then he didn't make changes that quick. So we say subs have been good. There's a few times I think he could have been quicker. But I do think we've not seen games off enough to go, right, let's get these on, give him a bit more time, let's see what he can do. He's getting the odd minute here or there. It's not enough for me. But I do think, I mean, I kind of think the Crystal Palace game would be good to see him in, and I'd be shocked if we don't.
yeah, yeah,
Um,
yeah,
but
yeah.
it would be interesting.
I think, I think even though I said he's going to put a strong team out, I mean that includes Ethan for me. I mean, he's
Hmm.
such a strong player, and I think because of um, Odegaard only really just coming back from injury and obviously playing quite a few games since he's been back, I think he will be rested. He might well be like on the bench, but he'll be rested. So I could see potentially Ranieri starting there.
Yeah.
I wouldn't quite jump the gun and sort of say like if he doesn't start or get any sort of amount of minutes in the game that's like the end for him. Um, I'm not. I just think it's where we've got such good players in sort of pretty much all the positions that he would play. So whether he would play in that Odegaard role or like where Saka is, you've got Saka, you've got Noni that can play there. So in my eyes, they would be in front of him on on that side.
Hmm.
And then obviously with Odegaard, you've got Odegaard and Eze as well. So
Yeah. Yeah.
would I put them
It is
in? Would
tricky.
I put them in front of him? Yes, I would.
Hmm.
That doesn't mean I don't think he's a good enough player to play for us. Like, of course he is, but he's still only 18 or whatever. Like,
Yeah. I,
I
th-
think we just
I
sort
think that
of,
could be part of it. I think the age.
I think,
I think they go not going to rush him.
these are the games where you would like to think that he's going to be involved.
Yeah,
But at the same time, we're still going to want to win it. And but yeah, that's not to say that we couldn't win it without him. But that's why if he does get the opportunity, he's really got to take it, because Arteta might go, well, okay, this is your cup. You can play in this, and
mm.
if we win it, we can thank you, can't we?
Yeah,
Do you know what I mean? Like, if he's that
hmm,
sort of going to make that sort of impact, which he's more than capable of doing.
100%.
Yeah,
I'd
yeah.
love to see him do more, mate.
I just think with him, like, I mean, back in the summer, I think it was with the under 21s for England, he, I think we won that tournament, didn't we? Yeah,
Which
we
one was
did.
it? Sorry.
The Euros, the under 21
Oh yes.
Euros.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and we, and he, he did play, but he didn't start every game, and he didn't. Do you know what I mean? So
hmm,
it's like you can't. I think as a professional, you can't then expect just to go straight into the Arsenal like starting lineup every week. But I don't think his head's like that anyway. I feel like he's very level-headed, very kind of, um, he signed that new contract with us for a reason, because he's an Arsenal boy.
exactly.
He doesn't want to go anywhere. I think
Hmm.
maybe in sort of like two maybe 3 years time, if he's still not getting many minutes and whatnot, then yeah, I'd say fair play. Try and find somewhere else where you're going to be starting every week. But
Yeah,
at the moment, I think he'll know that. Sorry if you can hear my
yeah.
dog; he's whining a bit. But
Oh no, I can. Yeah, I can. I can hear him.
it
Um,
isn't me. It isn't my belly
yeah,
on.
I thought it could be. I'll look quick look at the top of the table because we're obviously. Let me remove the logo, but we are obviously top of the table for Christmas, which is
Yeah,
one of the things which I think is always nice to be, and that I think that's one of the little fears in a way because you just want to go in good few days, enjoy that throttle break, be top of the league, top of the tree if you like at Christmas, and for us
absolutely.
it just shows you kind of where we are. But I think the top three in Man City and Aston Villa and us obviously have broken away from the rest of the pack really, with Chelsea, Liverpool creeping back in, Sunderland still holding their own, but obviously it's that's the top 10 for now, which is really interesting. Obviously Everton, I think they've been good. There's some interesting teams in this top kind of 10 really, so far, but it's just beautiful to see us. We're one game away, so the next game we play, which is Brighton after, isn't it? Is that right? We've got Brighton after the
Yes, I
break.
think so. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's at home as well,
lovely.
isn't it?
At home, we've got a lot of home games, which is
Yeah,
amazing. To be fair for us, I should know because I've written all down for our results that we've picked. Yeah, Brighton. And then if we go into the second half of the table as well, if I remove that one, uh, there we go. And that's us. Oh, I haven't got the bottom half, but the bottom half is there somewhere. Let me bear with me. But yeah, I think it's interesting to see who then has changed on that part. Here we go. Let's just add this in for us. So the bottom half looks like this. So Newcastle 11th, Brentford, Tottenham are dropping back down as well, which is nice to see. Bournemouth have dropped right away when they were quite high up at the start of the season, weren't they?
yeah.
Realistically,
But
which
then
is
it's quite close, I think, isn't it, in terms of points?
oh, 22, 23. Yeah, I don't know if you can
Yeah,
see
I
that
think
clear,
they're
Josh,
only
but
sort of about 6 points off of being like top five.
mhm. No, exactly. And then
you
you've got
know,
Leeds. I mean, in first, Leeds and Nottingham Forest are playing as it stands. I think as we record this, I think I see Fulham had gone up 1-0. It flashed up a minute ago. So that's interesting to see because they're going to creep up again. So they'll jump up to just above Tottenham, which will be,
yeah,
it's always funny. But I kind of put it down, but that potentially is a draw, I kind of expect from those two teams. So, I think Wolves, let's be honest, Wolves are cemented at the bottom. And it's just going to be between those bottom kind of fighters really. But West Ham, 13 points, it's quite bad, isn't it? Burnley 11. So they seem to be at the moment the ones that are going to be almost set. I don't know what you think, Josh. You think
yeah,
it's going to be about it? It's worrying times for those clubs like that.
yeah, yeah. I think. I mean, if you'd have asked me at the beginning of the season, I probably would have said someone like Wolves and Burnley to go down. Um, and then yeah, I mean, West Ham are not looking like they're going to be getting much better. Um,
No.
so yeah, I just think, like I was just saying, really, it's quite points wise, it's quite congested from sort of like 14th up
Hmm.
to like fifth. Like, there's not, that can
It's not.
change quite quickly. So
Yeah.
teams like Bournemouth, who had a good season last season, they could still come good and sort of finish top half quite easily, and I could see them doing it. I think they're a well
Yeah.
run team. They've got some good players, and yeah, I think
Hmm.
even teams like Brentford and stuff as well. Like, I think they'll sort of come all right in the end.
No, I think you're
I
right.
actually
I think they'll
think
get
I
it right.
actually think at the moment, as as upset as I am about it, but I'd just love to see Tottenham down in that bottom half. It's brilliant, isn't it?
That's all we could ask for Christmas as well, and Tottenham to
Yeah,
be absolutely
yeah,
shocking as they have been, really. So
yeah,
you think they started off quite positive right at the start of the season, like they always seem to, and it just dropped away completely. And I've kind of thought Thomas Frank would have done a better job. I don't know if it's just on him, but they just can't seem to get it right. He needs longer. I'll give him time,
yeah.
but
It's just a
it's not
funny old
looking
club, really, isn't
amazing.
it? It's funny because they sort of they
Mm.
Levy kind of left or was ousted as such because everyone was moaning about him, but
Yeah.
it's almost looking like, well, maybe he wasn't the problem.
No, no. Oh, maybe they're just shocking as a club.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
just a Spursy thing, isn't it? Unfortunately, but
Mm.
a couple of people in the chat box as well. Just to shout out, I've dropped in. Lucas dropped in. Hey mate, how you doing? I appreciate you dropping in, mate, and saying hello. Let's drop some comments in here, Josh, as well. So we had Amaya Vlogs, Alexis. We've got Luca as well. Goon, obviously, Vinny. We've done. We had Bernard, Jeremy, Korea. Don't know the name. But yeah, appreciate everyone who drops in to say hello. If you have any questions for us, obviously, let us know. We'll answer those for you. I do want to obviously get into as well, just predictions so far we've had, just to kind of keep you posted, Josh, because we predicted obviously 3-1 and Saka the score on Saturday was your prediction. So you got the result right, 10 points added on to your total, and I got the same because I put Jesus in a 2-0. So we got 10 points each from that last game, but it puts us in at 90 to you, 50 to me. So you are still flying high, son. So
Thank you.
congratulations on that. Obviously, predictions. I know we've done predictions on the Arsenal forecast, which was obviously live on Friday for the Christmas edition. We can keep the same, or do you want to do fresh predictions without me telling you what you predicted after you've seen
Well,
that game?
I think I said something. I think I went quite high with that, didn't I? Didn't I say like 4-1 or something?
Well, for Crystal,
Yeah, in my prediction on the forecast.
on the forecast, you put 2-1, Gyökeres to score.
Oh, did I only put 2-1? Oh,
4-1,
well,
you
I'm
put for
gonna.
Brighton. For Brighton, you put 4-1.
Oh, sorry. I was talking about Crystal Palace. What did I say for that?
Let's have a look. We've got for Crystal Palace, you put 2-1, 4-1 for Brighton, 3-0 for Aston Villa.
Uh, I'll stick with that. I'll stick with that.
Yeah, we'll stick with
Yeah,
it. Okay, I'm going to put star. So 2-1. Gyökeres to score still?
yeah.
Okay, nice. And my prediction, what do I have? Predictable 2-0, Jesus to score was mine. So we'll stick with the same, I think, and that kind of moves us on to next week. Well, next one, we could obviously pretty much have almost a week off, I think, when we're coming in next, I think the way it kind of works. So we've got obviously loads going on next week. So I think we're going to be back on the 5th, I think, Josh, I think with
Yeah,
our next kind of
yeah.
podcast.
Have a
So
little
we'll
Christmas break.
a little break. I think we've earned it. We deserve it.
Yeah,
But
yeah,
obviously, let's check out the socials as well, because obviously TikTok and stuff like that, and Instagram. I had a mental clip. I don't know if you saw that one, Josh. I posted a clip of the sort of the viral Odegaard assist. Did you see it? It's got like something like 2.1 million views on my page. It's gone mental.
Oh, really?
And it was like, yeah, I have to look it after. It's just gone. I woke up, it was like 70,000. It's like, bloody hell. And it's 700,000 by the afternoon. And it's like, yeah, 2.1 now. It's like, bloody hell. I wish I'd made money out of it.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just amazing, isn't it? The content sometimes some stuff hits, some doesn't. I just can't quite work it out still. But us on the podcast, the All About Arsenal one, we're still getting really consistently good views. So we appreciate everyone who's supporting. Obviously, we want
absolutely.
more people on the live, more people on the questions. But the last video had 18,000 views last time I looked at it. Our highest one to date was the 61,000, which was a few weeks ago, and we're kind of in between 24, 25. So they always do really good numbers. But what's interesting is the watch time for me. So anyone who is obviously getting this watch, a good amount of time, get to the end, comment. Even if you're doing it on catch up, it makes a massive difference to us. And always make sure you're subscribing, liking, commenting, even after the live. You can still drop a comment in. You can hype up after as well, which is a new feature that YouTube have put out there. So anything you can do to help a small little channel. We're well over 1,000 subs now. We're nearly on to 1,200, which is great. So it's
Oh,
growing,
nice.
at a steady rate, which is really, really good. And my obviously partners in crime like Josh, Vinny, Alex, obviously on the Arsenal forecast as well, is something we're going to be hitting every week in the new year as well. And we've got new comments. So I didn't see this from Vinny as well. So let me jump in, Vinny. So how much would you rate Saka this season out of 10? Good question from Vinny. He loves a question. Vinny, you are the question man, so keep them coming, mate.
Question
Josh,
master.
he is. I love it.
Um, I would give him a 7.
Yeah. I think he's been one of the more consistent players. Obviously, had a little niggle and injury as well at the start of the season,
Yeah,
didn't he? So, but
yeah,
he has,
yeah,
I think, along with Rice, he has been dragged us through, especially on the Wolves game. Without him, we would have lost that game, I think, as well.
yeah,
Because he was kind of relentless, and a lot of stuff and a lot of expectations are on that right hand side as well. So it's a big deal. He's a huge player for us, like all the players. If we had everyone fit, would be laughing. I think would be well clear. To be honest with you, if we had the
yeah,
Gabriel. Big Gabby back, Saliba in the middle, we would be, I think, steaming and flying because it's not just defensively, it's what Gabby does, especially going forward. Set piece FC at the start of the season, that's just dropped off. So for
yeah.
me, that is huge. But I still consider if we lose imagine losing Rice and Zubimendi. I think we'd be in
Well,
serious trouble.
exactly. Yeah, this is what I've said all along. Really, is they're the players that if we do lose them to injury, I think we're in a bit of a muddle, really.
Mm,
But everywhere else, and I think that's probably why I gave Saka a 7 rather than anything higher, was because of um, because there's that replacement of Noni there, who
yeah,
is just as good in my eyes. Really, I think he's just as dangerous. I think for
it's
me,
shown that, mate.
Saka needs to. I say needs to. He obviously he comes up, trumps for us a lot, and he's so consistent. Um, but I would like to see him score a few more worldies. Really,
Yeah, no, exactly. I
do you
mean,
know what I mean? Because he is so
yeah,
capable of doing that. It's like,
yeah, yeah,
like
it's so
I'd
true.
just love to see him do that where he cuts in, um, knocks it past one, two players or whatever, and then bends it into the far post, and you're like,
We haven't really had that this
that
season,
is
have
the
we?
Saka. That is the Saka.
We all know and love. But I think, a lot of players have worked, well, a lot of defensive worked him out and they do double up and stuff like that. But that was what Gyökeres was doing
Yeah,
for us,
yeah,
was
but then
freeing him
again,
up more,
that's
wasn't it?
what I mean in terms of like he's capable of even when
Doing more.
even when
Mm.
players do that, they're he's more than capable of still producing.
Yeah, no, it's true. It's true. Yeah, even when he's not playing well, he still produces, and I think that's the
Yeah,
point, isn't it? So,
yeah.
but Gooner Vinny has put in there as well. Is 7 out of 10 worth 300K per week? Because that's the talk of his new contract. So he's going to be one of I think, the highest player. But in fairness
Yeah,
to
I
him,
think it is
he's been the marquee
because
player the last few seasons, isn't
yeah, I think as well as that, if you was to look at sort of like at selling him, which obviously we're not, um, he would be getting that wherever he goes. So it's more about keeping him
he?
happy.
Market value. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. Market
Mm,
value, um, and to keep him at the, I think he's a lifer, really, isn't he? He's the sort of
for
player that
sure.
you could see playing for Arsenal for the rest of his career, and
Yeah.
I hope he does.
Okay.
Um,
We don't want
so
him
I
to go
think,
anywhere.
yeah, I think he has to be up there. I mean, I don't know what because I think isn't Havertz the highest paid?
I think at the moment, yes, because where he come
Yeah,
from and his contract was quite high. Yeah. So that I
yeah.
think he will overlap
So
him just.
if you was to sort of like almost go, well, we're paying him that, you've got to be paying Saka this. Do you know what I mean? So,
Yeah, yeah,
regardless of I mean, a 7 for me is quite high because
mm,
I think, you know, to be getting sort of eights, nines, tens, you've got to be like either scoring loads like Haaland or um, just producing sort of like world class performances all the time, and
yeah.
he does on occasion, but
That's it.
yeah, it's not quite there yet.
No, we'll get there, man. We'll get there, and I think
Yeah,
it's going to
you
be
will. Yeah, you will.
busy few days over Christmas, so we're lots to watch, lots to enjoy, and obviously, I think from all of us at the podcast, I think like Josh, but I'm sure the same that we just appreciate everyone who's come and supported and reached out, and obviously we want to see you
Yeah,
follow us in the new year. So if you're watching this still, just subscribe and drop
yeah,
comments. We'll always answer, and we appreciate all the views and everything so far, and we're people from all over the globe. We're getting people, which is quite cool as well. When I
yeah,
look down at the breakdowns, it's there's Australia, there's a lot in America started to watch as well, which is really cool. And obviously, we'd love to people to reach out, DM, us on socials and stuff like that. With the pages all set up there for if people want to jump on, and we'll do a phone in and stuff and chat to fans and stuff in the future. It'd be quite cool to hear from people. So if you're ever interested in doing that, and that's how we met. That's how I met Vinny, and then Vinny's on our
mm,
Arsenal forecast now. So it's really good to kind of keep in touch with people. But my phone battery is about to run out, so I've got to quickly end this as well before it does.
yeah. No
But Josh,
worries,
I'll
man.
speak to you just after, mate. But lovely to see
Yeah,
you. Lovely to see everyone in the comments. Thanks for
yeah.
joining,
Merry
and we'll
Christmas
see
and
you.
Happy New
Merry
Year to
Merry Christmas,
followers.
one and all. And we'll speak to you, and we'll see you in the next one, Josh. Come on,
See
you
you on the next
gutters.
one. Come on.
God, press the
Listen